if you into getting rubbed. Mm, 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 mm. Down, down. Go, go, go. That song was fire. I'm sorry. But this is Mount Rushmore. And for Mount Rushmore, because your host, of course, the host, of course, the bad guy, I can't speak. Your host, of course, the bad guy himself, Kenny. And for each one, we give you the top four. I'm trying not to do honorable mentions, but I'm gonna do it this week. I'm gonna do it this week, just for y'all. I'm gonna do it this week, where we give you a top four of anything. And here's the thing: if you got a top four, comment it. Comment what you want to do a top four of. I'm gonna do it. I got y'all. I love y'all. But also, when I do my episodes, also comment your top four. Give me your top four anything. Tell me what you like. So if I'm giving you my top four or something, and then you're like, nah, this is the real top four of it. Go ahead, comment that. And then if you like mine, give me a like. Or if you just want to fuck with me, not just if you want to fuck. You want to fuck, no, it's not a DM. But no, I'm saying if you fuck with me, go ahead, click that like. And if you don't, if you just now coming across my channel, subscribe. We got all kind of stuff for you here. You'll love it here. But for this one, we are doing the best movie cameos of all time. So we're gonna get right into it with the honorable mentions. This is not the top four. This is the honorable mentions portion of it. Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore. I am not a fan of this movie. I will say that. I'm not a fan of this movie. But to me, this is the best part of the movie. I know some part everybody talk like, oh, of course you would say that's the best part. It is. Like, to me, I don't think young Adam Sandler's funny. I don't think old Adam Sandler's funny either, but young Adam Sandler was like the oh yeah. That's not funny to me. Sorry, it's not. Like that's how his comedy was the first half of his career. Then the second half of the career, in my opinion, it's not funny either because he's just reacting to everything. Like second half, like first half of his career is just like yeah, Mr. Penguin, yeah. It's like that's all it was, and then the second half was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have something dumb happen, and then I'm gonna react to it, like kind of either condescending or just like, oh, I'm too good for this. If you ever notice that, like, what it'll be a scene like it'll be Rob Schneider. He'll run full speed into a wall and just pow, and he just drop, and then he'll be like, hey, there's a wall there. Like that's the comedy he's doing now. Like, and it's not funny. Like I'll be like, why do you like this? And that's the comedy. Now. I'm like, I'm good on that. But yeah, so back to the thing. So Happy Gilmore, Bob Barker, best scene in there. These the stiff punching just like this. It was amazing. It was amazing. The next one, Mike Tyson in the movie The Hangover. It's another one. Not a fan of. Actually, for a lot of these, I'm not a fan of a lot of these. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not really a fan of a lot of these, but these are great cameos. I'll give it that. The Hangover, not really a fan of them. I'm a fan of those movies. I think the first one was I think it was very, very overrated, is what I'm gonna say. The first one's very, very overrated. I think it had a couple funny scenes, but people are acting like that was the funniest thing they've ever seen, one of the funniest movies ever. It's not. Sorry, it's not. Um, but yeah, his scene when he came out, bap, and he punched him and he just dropped and he didn't bounce off the ground. He just landed straight like that part was hilarious to me. Next one is a movie I couldn't finish. There's another one I didn't like the movie, but like it was that bad. I had to stop it. Y'all gonna be mad at me for this one. Wayne's World. I think Robert Patrick as T-1000 is one of the best cameos. And he was like, "Tell me if you've seen this boy." Like that. I was like, "Oh, I like that. I like that, Robert Patrick. I like that." Did his thing for his little one scene, and he was just Mike Myers looking at the camera like, "Oh my god, I know who that is." Great cameo. Now let's get to the top four. The first one, Matt Damon in Euro Trip. That song, this is a bad movie. I didn't think it was good back in the day. You know, movies like, oh, this is back in the era, in my opinion, where you have the greatest comedies, like the 2000s. In my opinion, has the greatest comedies. I always say the 80s have the best concepts, 90s have the best action movies, 2000s has the best comedy movies, And then I say 2010s are the best superhero movies. I can't really say anything about 2020s yet because we're still in it. I'm only 4 years in. But for this one, I'm going Matt Damon, Eurotrip. I think the movie is god awful. Eurotrip was awful, but Matt Damon doing that song. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. That first, that's pretty much the first scene in the movie. And I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be good. Like this scene is hilarious. Matt Damon just talking like he's talking about like, my girl's loyal, I'm gonna do this and this. And then he go up there talking about, no, your girl's not loyal. We've been running the train on her. And it's just he's like, you think she's going to church? Nah, she's praying to me. She's on her knees for me. Like them lyrics, he was going crazy on them lyrics. And I don't know who the real people were that sing that song, but shout out to you. Y'all body that song. Next one is Deadpool 2, Brad Pitt. This one, I'm not gonna say I flat out didn't like this movie. When I first saw it, I didn't like it. I didn't like it the first time I saw it. It took me a couple watches to be like, okay, I see the vision. Like now it's cool to me. It went from I didn't like it to it's cool to me. But Brad Pitt, because they had teased, he was creating his own team. Deadpool's creating his own team called the X Force, and he had a bunch of random superheroes in there. They all had random powers that were just they were okay. They were okay powers. But he was trying to play the one. The girl's like, my powers, I'm lucky. He's like, you ain't shit for real. So she survives it, but everybody else dies upon landing from the helicopter. Everybody's trying to get out the helicopter, jump out. They try to, land, but they're dying on the way down, which was funny. It's a funny scene. Terry Crews in there. I forget half the actors that was in there, but they were all in there dying one by one. And then you saw there was one guy in there. They said was invisible. I forget his name, but he was invisible. And they didn't think they played it up like he wasn't a real person. Like Deadpool made it up, but then you saw him get electrocuted, and you see for half a second is Brad Pitt. He's like that. You see his face. He gets electrocuted by the power lines, and it is gold, comedy gold. I'll give them their credit on that, comedy gold. The next one is Bill Murray in Zombieland. Zombieland was a good movie. It was a good movie. It's just not, to me, it's not a movie that I really go back like, oh, I got to see Zombieland again. I don't do that with this movie. I think I've seen it maybe twice. I don't go back to watch it like that. But yeah, Bill Murray in there, random scene. Like like I know it's a cameo. Cameo was supposed to be random, but that was just random. It was like, oh, he's turning into a zombie. Okay, like guess I'm here for it. Like now that I know more about Bill Murray, it's fuck him. But still, I can't act like that wasn't one of the greatest cameos of all time. And then last but not least, my opinion of the greatest cameo of all time was it Men in Black 2, Michael Jackson. Random, just random. He said, what do you say? K, I can be Agent M. He just came in with the one seat. That's it. He came in, K, I can be Agent M. And that he won. Most random cameo. And I like this movie too. There was a time I used to think that was the best Men in Black until I went back and watched them all again as an adult. And I'm like, Men in Black 1's clearly superior. But Men in Black 2 was cool. It was cool to see everybody back again. But Men in Black 1 got it for sure. But yeah, this cameo was like, oh, y'all did your thing on this one. I'm gonna give you credit. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get my top 4 cameos. Go ahead and do that. There's some movies I haven't seen out there. You might get me. They might you might. Oh, you didn't see this movie? I haven't seen every movie. I'm a movie head, but I haven't seen every movie. So you can catch me slipping. But go ahead, comment yours. If you like it, like it. If you haven't seen it, like you've not somebody else on the podcast and liking, like what's the words I'm trying to say? If you come across the podcast and you like it, subscribe. But yeah, so we're gonna end it right here. Bad guy out.